Hello, football fans, and welcome to another edition of the Banner Press Coaches Show. I am Banner Press sports editor Joe Alberico, and once again, I'm joined by Blinn College head football coach Ryan Mahon. Coach, I know Saturday's tough shootout loss to Cisco, which ended in a last-second field goal, was a tough one to swallow. Your team battled, rallied, and Brock Landis had another huge game for the offense. What were the takeaways from the tough conference loss? Well,
the big one is you can't turn the ball over and expect to win, especially in the locations we did it. We had a couple early and then we had a couple late. And if you don't take care of the football, bad things will happen. And that's what occurred.
So I talked to Brock after the game. He's pretty dejected, all things considered. You go out and you throw for 400-plus yards and 6 touchdowns and kind of see it, end the way it did. I know it's tough, but he still had a superb night, and despite the way the outcome went, it's hard to ignore all the good he keeps doing for this team.
Oh yeah, there's no question. I mean, Brock is ultra competitive, and any one play, and no one play won or lost that game for us. Now he's the type of kid that's going to take things personally, but that's also the type of kid that you want on your team, just because he's harder on himself than I could ever be. So he's going to go out there, he's going to take every snap, and he's going to give us a bright performance. So I get it. I understand Brock's upset, but I also understand that he put together one heck of a game.
So you've preached to your team, all season long, and said to me several times, when someone goes down, it's next man up. And I think the offensive effort kind of was, exemplified that mantra. Saturday night, you had your top wide receiver, Danny Gray, go down, and all of a sudden, Trey Shropshire and Xavier Hutchinson break out in a big way. So you had Trey, 205 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hutchinson had 103 yards and a couple grabs, and then even C.J. Jones had a nice 34-yard touchdown reception out of the backfield. You got to love that kind of effort from guys when someone's down. They group together and make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, every one of those kids have great talent, and we've always talked about that. Just everybody has enough talent to do all sorts of really good things. It doesn't always have to be a Danny Gray show, and obviously Trey stepped up, and we needed him in a bad way, and he showed up. And then Xavier Hutchinson, I mean, he's a kid that you can just hang your hat on. I mean, he's going to go out there, he's going to just chop the wood, man. He's going to work hard. He's going to go out there and get it done. And then CJ having that big touchdown reception on a play that he's mastered that thing, the timing of it, just a delay screen, really simple. But if you run it the right way like he did and he set up a couple blocks, good things will happen.
So obviously, as a coach, I'm sure you're going gray watching these shootouts, but is it kind of fun knowing that you have an offense that can survive those types of games? I mean, back and forth. I mean, the offense is so explosive. When you get down a touchdown or so, you feel like this team can just bounce back immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way we practice. That's our mentality. That's why I recruit these kids, and they expect it. They expect us to have a great performance. It's just one of those things where you preach it until it comes true. And these kids, they do a really good job of just believing. They drink the Kool-Aid, and they go out and actually do everything it is. I mean, like we spoke earlier, I haven't thrown a football in 20 years. So these kids are coming out here, they're doing all the work. And I get a chance to just be a kid in a candy store watching these great athletes go out and do their thing.
So your team is now 4-3. You're 2-3 in the Southwest Junior College Football Conference. You said after Saturday's loss that if if the team can win out these last 2 games, you feel pretty good about the situation you'll be in. But things don't get easier this week. Number 5 Kilgore, you're going there. That's a tough ball club. They throw the ball really well with Jacob Frazier under center. They don't have a dominant rusher, but they spread the ball pretty well in the backfield. What do you see from them on film? How are you getting ready for a huge game that could decide the season?
Yeah, no question. I mean, they're very explosive on offense, and they're very good on defense. I mean, they're a team that's been really put together well. They've done a good job of just recruiting and then capitalizing on last year's success and building on it this year. They've got the one loss to Cisco, but I mean, they're a very complete team. They always are, and it's going to be it's a hard place to play over there in Kilgore. So we've got to bring our very best, and that's the big thing, is just making sure that we execute our game plan, both offensively and defensively, and make sure every kid is ready to go for the game.
So before we finish up, as I mentioned before, Danny Gray got knocked out with an ankle injury, and then you had one of your top linebackers, Josh Reed, go down as well. Can you give me an update on both of those guys? Obviously, 2 big parts on the offense and defense, respectively.
Oh, yeah, no question. They're both team leaders. Right now, they're currently going to treatment. They're going to be a game time decision.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for joining me once again. Thanks for tolerating me for another week. And, folks, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.